Welcome to the Career Report. Hey, I'm Tim Madden. Hope you're doing well. Hey, every day I break down what's happening in the job market, who's hiring, who's laying off, what trends you need to look out for, right? So whether you're in a job search, leading a team, or just trying to stay ahead of the market, this is your go-to source. Let's get into today's Career Report. Hey, but first, as always, you know that if you are in a job search right now and looking for some additional help, go on over to execupgrades.com/podcast. We had in the Exec Upgrades community, we had 8 offers come in. A few were confidential that we didn't report online. We've also had 3 more offers come in inside the past 24 hours. So the reason I say that is, listen, corporate America is open for business. If you are in the final rounds of interviews right now is the freaking time to get hired, right? Now is the time to, help them make a decision before Thanksgiving. Who wants to roll into Thanksgiving without that key team member? Contrary to popular belief, that is what these executives are thinking about, right? They're approaching next week like, man, I need that sales leader. I need that marketing leader. I need that finance leader, right? So help them make a decision. What truly determines urgency? I'm going to let you know. Focus on their problems. So if I was a job seeker right now, right, and I was in the final rounds of interviews or pending a decision between now and Thanksgiving, I'd message that hiring manager and I would say something like, hey, really look forward to coming, to joining the team or coming on board. You've mentioned that your problem is X. I know I can solve it based on my background, which is XYZ. Hey, let's lock this in. Put your faith and trust in me, and I assure you I won't let you down. Let's get this done before Thanksgiving so we can both enjoy that time with our family. Something along those lines. Be bold. Be bold, and mighty forces will come to your aid. So, hey, here's what we're talking about today. We're going to shift gears because I haven't talked about this in a while, and I know lots of people are going on interviews during the holidays. How do you talk about layoffs, gaps, job hops? That's what it's perceived as, right, on your resume. Now, first, I want to share an interesting point with you. Just because you have the best answer of why you've left a previous position does not matter, and it's not going to help you get hired. Okay? It's not going to help you get hired. So many people say, I have a really good reason on why I left. It doesn't matter. So number one, you have to really know, why do people hire people? Because of why they left their position and who has the best answer? No, that sounds pretty silly, right? People hire people to solve problems. So if you're taking notes, write this down. If it doesn't help me get hired, I'm going to spend like a short amount of time talking about it. Now, here's what most people do. They get on these interviews with recruiters or hiring managers. The hiring manager says something like, hey, Tim, walk me through your background. Let me know, why you've left all these positions, right? And tell me what you did specifically at those organizations. I know it's very overwhelming, right? So let's handle this in chunks. They say, hey, tell me about what you did there. Tell me about why you left these positions. Let's just go with why you left those positions first, okay? And then we'll go with the prolonged kind of gaps, if you will. If someone asks me that, I'm going to say, absolutely, John. Hey, I've only left positions for 3 reasons. Number 1, I made the biggest impact I could at the organization, okay? Number 2, a recruiter or someone like you got a hold of me online, right, for my next upward mobility move. Or number 3, I was a part of a reduction in force that impacted a lot of people. Those are the only reasons I left organizations across the past 20 or 30 years. That's what you say. And then if he says, why'd you lead IBM? I made the biggest impact I could. Why'd you leave Microsoft? I was a part of a riff. See what I mean? Quick. It doesn't matter. Does that make sense? It doesn't matter why you left those positions. So don't spend a lot of time talking about it and just rope them all in together. I've seen some people spend like 10 to 15 minutes like defending why they left positions, etc. It's not a good look. Remember, why do people hire people? They're looking for someone to do something. They're looking for someone to solve challenges. Focus on that. Now, gaps. Say you've been in a job search for a while. I know some people have. A couple months, several months. Hey, what have you been doing this past several months? Right? It may come off like that. That's okay. Remember, have a plan. Know that this question is likely coming. Hey, John, absolutely. Yeah, I'd be happy to share that. Across the past 7 months, I've been focused on a lot of professional development, right? I've read different books about my craft, attended a few industry conferences, right? So let's say I'm a marketer, right? So I attended these few marketing conferences. I took an online course of this. I've really been focused on my professional development, number one. And number two, this next position I'm searching for has been a big priority for me. So I'm actively interviewing with different companies, really figuring out, what's the best move for me whenever I meet with these individuals as well. So I'm taking my job search very seriously. And then you always end it with this. But I'd love to talk about this opportunity here. Can you give me a brief overview of what you're really looking for, or a variation of that? So no matter how long your gap is, you say you've been working on self-development, you say your career search is a big priority and you've been taking it seriously, right? And your next move is important for you, right? And you talk about the due diligence you're doing on the different organizations that you're interviewing with. And then you say, you immediately revert it to put, what's the word I'm looking for? Take back control of the interview and say, hey, John, can you tell me, right? I read the job description. Can you tell me what you're looking for? You need to practice. You need to rehearse. If you don't know what the heck you're saying, when people ask you these questions, you are going to get smoked by other professionals less qualified than you. I talk to directors, VPs, and executives every day that are always worried about going on all these freaking interviews. Guys, I just want to remind you, okay? You don't need a million interviews. You need to convert the interviews that you've already went on or already have, right? We have statistical data here in ECU that says if you have a blueprint and a plan on interview strategy, you should get an offer if you go on 5 different interview loops with 5 different companies. If not, your interview strategy is jacked up. Seen a lot of people that says, yeah, in the past 90 days, I've went on, 15 interviews. No one calls me back. Dude, please, you don't know what you're doing. Get help. All right. Number 2 I got for you today. The 7 habits of leaders who grow fastest in their career. Number 1, I'm going to remind you, you need to have clarity of your next role. You need to have clarity. I'm a VP of marketing at this type of tech company that specializes in this, that has this amount of revenue, that's located here, that has this many people working there, right? Be very specific on your goal. The more specific you are, the easier it is to find. Number 2, you have to have visibility. Your job search is going to go this fast. How many people, right, how can you get as many eyes on your profile, on your brand as possible? Eyes, viewers, impressions are going to lead to opportunities, are going to lead to interviews, are going to lead to offers. Make sure you know how to remain visible, right? We've said that on many of these podcasts. We've said automated systems, LinkedIn content, lots of different things. You got to be visible, ladies and gentlemen. No one is going to come to your door, bang on it and say, Tim Madden, this is your dream job. We love you. You'd be perfect. Wouldn't that be nice? Number 3, fast decision-making, right? So many people are not confident in their ability to make quick decisions. Therefore, when they're on interviews and people don't make quick decisions to hire them, they validate that. Interviews are a lot like a mirror, right? What you put out, you get. So if you're not someone who acts fast, who makes powerful decisions, why should you expect people would do that to you? Just some food for thought today. Number 4 habit, they know how to storytell, man. They know how to explain their value with precision. They don't ramble, right? They anchor everything in outcomes and predictability, and they communicate like a leader and not an operator. Know how to storytell. They know how to network. They know how to execute, and they are relentless with self-development. So many people focus on the outcome. They focus on getting the job. They focus on getting the promotion, on starting the new job off right, on accelerating their career in different aspects. Those are goals. Those are great goals to have. But, we talk about leading and lagging indicators. I talk about that a lot because we have many different programs here at Executive Upgrades outside of the career program, right? The reason I say that is lagging indicators is like the outcome you're searching for. But the leading indicators is what you have to do to make that happen. The funny thing is everyone's like, I need a job. I need a high-level job. I need this, right? Well, they're not doing the proper inputs every single day. They're not showing up. They're not staying focused on their goals. They don't know what they're targeting. They're not branded effectively. They don't know how to get visibility. They don't know how to communicate on interviews. And then they're frustrated that no one will hire them. It's just like business, right? The leading indicators of sales is how many people you're talking to every single day, how many outbound dials you're doing, how much follow-up, etc. That leads to revenue. Makes sense, right? If you want to increase revenue and you have revenue targets, you need to re-engineer it from how many calls do we need to make? How many customers do we need to get a hold of? People don't think that way. So I would ask you today, and I'm going to leave you with this. What are your leading indicators right now if you're in a job search? What are you doing today to ensure you're moving forward? Are you applying for 3 jobs and then calling it a day? Then going to drink beer with some buddies, going to play some golf, going to watch some Netflix? Oh, a new show just dropped. Make sure you're doing the daily activity so that you can get the job and money that you deserve. Okay? Hey, that wraps up today's edition of the Career Report. I'm Tim Mann. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, you need to stay ahead in your career. How do you stay ahead? Right? You stay informed. You make sure you're doing the daily activity. The daily activity always leads to the result eventually. Hey, if you found this conversation valuable, share it with a friend and do me a favor, leave me a 5-star review over on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Until tomorrow, have a great day, everybody.